My name is Ken Stano, and in 2015, I was lucky enough to get a business loan from lender Impact 7 out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin. It was a dream come true because I needed the capital to use for additional inventory to grow the business. I was able to use a rental property that I had in Ohio, as well as my home here in Minneapolis, and finally the inventory owned by the business as collateral for the loan. But then, like so many people and businesses hit hard by the pandemic, I was forced to declare bankruptcy and close my doors. Since that time, my experience with Brett Gerber, CEO of Impact 7, and his team at Impact 7 has turned my life to just about a nightmare. You see, rather than allow for a standard bankruptcy procedure, which should only take a couple of weeks, Brett Gerber and his team at Impact 7 took steps to drag my bankruptcy out for a year and a half. Brett Gerber and his team at Impact 7 actually hired two different law firms, one in Ohio and one here in Minnesota, to contest my bankruptcy. And over that time, they racked up over $30,000 in attorney's fees. And they expected me to pay for it, which is highly irregular in a bankruptcy case. Also, rather than use the inventory from the business to repay the $100,000 loan, they actually let it sit outside in the rain and snow to rot, to the point where it ultimately became worthless. And instead of taking whatever could be salvaged from it, they then used it to repay the storage fees where the inventory was being stored. Those are just two examples of the over 27 steps that Brett Gerber and his team at Impact 7 took to drag out my bankruptcy. I want to make a video about each of those steps. And look, I don't expect this video to reach thousands of viewers or even hundreds, but if even just one person can benefit from hearing my story, then it was worth it. My name is Ken Stano, and these are my Impact 7 crying points. Thank you for watching.